Deforestation, the large-scale removal of forests, has a significant impact on the Earth's climate system. Trees play a crucial role in the global carbon cycle by absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during photosynthesis and storing it. When forests are destroyed, not only is this carbon storage capacity reduced, but the carbon stored in trees is also released back into the atmosphere. As a result, deforestation contributes to an increase in greenhouse gas concentrations, which leads to global warming and climate change. In this video, we are discussing the impact of deforestation on climate change. So before we start, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Deforestation rates and global impact. Global deforestation rates have been alarmingly high over the past several decades. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, the world loses around 10 million hectares of forests annually. The Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of the earth, has seen significant deforestation due to agricultural expansion, logging, and mining. Between 2000 and 2019, the Amazon lost about 16% of its forest cover, which directly impacts local and global climate patterns. The loss of forests in this region alone accounts for a large portion of the world's CO2 emissions. Carbon emissions and the role of trees. Trees are essential in sequestering carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Through photosynthesis, trees absorb CO2 and release oxygen, thus acting as carbon sinks. A study from the National Academy of Sciences suggests that forests around the world absorb approximately 7.6 billion metric tons of CO2 each year. When forests are cut down or burned, this carbon is released back into the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect. In fact, deforestation is responsible for nearly 10% of global carbon emissions, which is comparable to the emissions from the entire global transportation sector. Biodiversity loss and climate change. The destruction of forests not only increases carbon emissions, but also leads to a loss of biodiversity. Forests are home to about 80% of the world's terrestrial species, many of which are crucial to maintaining ecological balance. As deforestation continues, habitats are destroyed, leading to the extinction of plant and animal species. This loss of biodiversity further exacerbates the effects of climate change. For example, the loss of forest species that contribute to nutrient cycling or water purification can disrupt ecosystems and reduce the resilience of the environment to climate shifts. The Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest, spanning across 9 countries in South America, is one of the most significant and biodiverse forests on Earth. It is often referred to as the lungs of the planet because of its ability to produce 20% of the world's oxygen. However, it has faced severe deforestation over recent decades. Satellite data from NASA reveals that between 2001 and 2020, deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon increased by 75%. This trend, if it continues, could push the Amazon towards a tipping point, where it would no longer be able to function as a carbon sink, but rather begin to emit more CO2 than it absorbs. The loss of the Amazon would have catastrophic consequences for global climate regulation. How deforestation amplifies climate change. Deforestation doesn't just contribute to climate change, it also accelerates it. One of the key feedback mechanisms is the loss of forested land's ability to regulate temperature and moisture. Forests help maintain the water cycle, and when they are cut down, it can lead to changes in rainfall patterns, creating drier conditions and exacerbating heat waves. In tropical regions, deforestation has been linked to an increase in local temperatures by several degrees, a trend that can lead to more intense forest fires, further escalating deforestation. Additionally, the removal of trees diminishes the amount of evapotranspiration, the process by which water is transferred from the soil and plants to the atmosphere, which can alter weather patterns on a global scale. The role of forest fires in deforestation and climate change. Forest fires, both natural and human-caused, play a significant role in deforestation. In recent years, forest fires in places like Australia, California, and the Amazon have destroyed millions of acres of forest. Fires not only contribute to deforestation, but also release large amounts of CO2 and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. In 2019, the Amazon fires alone were responsible for emitting over 228 million metric tons of CO2. The increase in the frequency and intensity of forest fires is directly linked to climate change, with higher temperatures and drought conditions creating ideal conditions for fires to spread rapidly. The economic drivers of deforestation. The economic drivers of deforestation are complex and multifaceted. Agricultural expansion is one of the most significant contributors, particularly for palm oil, soy, and cattle farming. The demand for land to grow these commodities has led to massive deforestation in countries like Brazil, Indonesia, and Malaysia. The global market for timber and paper products also drives logging and land clearing. While deforestation may offer short-term economic gains, the long-term costs are far greater, as the environmental and climatic consequences of deforestation lead to loss of ecosystem services, reduced agricultural productivity, and increased vulnerability to climate-related disasters. Deforestation and climate justice. Deforestation and its impact on climate change do not affect all communities equally. Indigenous populations and rural communities that depend on forests for their livelihoods are often the most directly affected by deforestation. In addition to losing their homes and resources, these communities face heightened vulnerability to the consequences of climate change, such as droughts, floods, and extreme weather events. The destruction of forests also undermines their cultural heritage, as many indigenous groups have lived in forests for centuries and have developed deep spiritual and cultural connections to the land. Solutions to deforestation and climate change. Addressing the impact of deforestation on climate change requires both mitigation and adaptation strategies. One of the most effective solutions is reforestation and afforestation, which involve planting trees to restore degraded land and increase carbon sequestration. According to the UN Environment Programme, reforesting 350 million hectares of land by 2030 could absorb 4.2 gigatons of CO2 annually. Additionally, sustainable land management practices, such as agroforestry, where trees are integrated with crops, can provide economic benefits without requiring large-scale deforestation. Governments and organizations around the world are also working toward policies that promote sustainable forestry. The United Nations Reducing Emissions from Deforestation and Forest Degradation Program, for example, offers financial incentives for countries to reduce deforestation and invest in sustainable land management practices. Additionally, strengthening global supply chains for sustainably sourced products like timber, palm oil, and soy can help reduce the economic incentives for deforestation. The role of technology in combating deforestation. Advancements in technology are playing a crucial role in the fight against deforestation. Satellite imagery and remote sensing technologies allow researchers and governments to monitor deforestation in real time, providing valuable data for decision-making. Artificial intelligence, AI, is also being used to predict where deforestation might occur and help authorities intervene before irreversible damage is done. Drones are being employed for reforestation efforts, planting trees in hard-to-reach areas efficiently. Furthermore, blockchain technology is being explored to ensure transparency in supply chains, particularly for products like timber and palm oil, promoting sustainable practices and reducing illegal logging. The need for global cooperation and action. Tackling deforestation requires coordinated global action. Climate change is a global problem, and deforestation is a key piece of the puzzle. Countries must work together to reduce emissions from deforestation, support reforestation efforts, and implement policies that protect the world's forests. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015, acknowledges the importance of forests in the fight against climate change and sets the goal of limiting global temperature rise to below 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. To achieve this, addressing deforestation is essential. Conclusion: the relationship between deforestation and climate change is undeniable. Deforestation contributes significantly to the rise in greenhouse gas emissions, accelerates global warming, and disrupts ecosystems. The loss of forests affects biodiversity, alters local and global weather patterns, and undermines the resilience of vulnerable communities. However, through global cooperation, sustainable practices, and dedicated reforestation efforts, we can mitigate the effects of deforestation and work towards a more stable climate. Protecting and restoring our forests is not just an environmental issue, it is a fundamental aspect of securing the future of the planet and its inhabitants. So this is our today's video. If you love our video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel or hit the bell icon. We will meet again with another interesting topic. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.